Here we go. Okay, 3.7, solving absolute value inequalities. Whenever you have an inequality like this, for number 1 here, you're going to make two equations. You're going to make x is less than 5, but your other one is going to be x negative 5, just like equations, except you flip the sign. Okay? Now, what you would get here, though, is if you graph both of these, if you graph this, here's what it'll look like. You have 0 here in the middle, you have 5, you have negative 5, you have open circles. This one is saying x is less than 5. Do you understand x is less than 5 is this way? And here, x is greater than negative 5. Isn't that going this way? You see how they're going towards each other? Do you understand? What you have to understand is the answer is in between. Any number between negative 5 and 5 makes this true. Any number between negative 5 and 5 makes this true. For instance, a number between negative 5 and 5, let's say 1. Is the absolute value of 1 less than 5? Yeah. How about negative 3? Is the absolute value negative 3 less than 5? Yeah. Yes. Anything between these two numbers is true. Now, you have to write your answer in a special way. Whenever you get this in-between statement, it's an and. It becomes an and. And ands are always written like this. Do you see how you have negative 5, you have 5, and x is between? It's kind of annoying. Even my Algebra 2 kids struggle with it. But if you get an and statement where it's between, it's written like this. Now, look at this carefully. Do you guys see x is less than 5? Do you see x is less than 5? Look right here. Isn't that x is greater than negative 5? Read this backwards. Is that x is greater than negative 5? Both these symbols got put together in one statement.
So it's true.
This is your answer. All values between negative 5 and 5. There's the graph. All right, the next one. Let's first add this 3 over. Okay. I added that over. Now, I make both my equations. You always make two equations. You make the normal one, and then you make the other one, but you flip the sign and make this a negative. Okay, you always make two equations. The other one gets the sign flipped and negative. Okay, this will end up with a plus 4. You're adding 4 over. Does the sign no, the sign doesn't flip. This becomes a 22. Here you add 4 over. Okay, let's call this 22. Let's call this negative 14. Do you understand they're closed circles? Because it's or equal to? Now, are they always going to be shaded in between? No. For instance, look. What does this say? X is what 22? It says greater than or equal to 22. So doesn't that mean we point this way? What's this one say? Does it say less than or equal to negative 14?
Yes.
If it's less than or equal to, doesn't that mean we go this way?
Yeah.
This is not an and. This is an or. I put the word or in between because if they're going opposite direction, it's an or. And with ors, you can leave it just like that. That's your answer. With ors, you just write the word or and write each piece separately. Ors always go out. Ors are out or out. Ands are in between. Okay. First step when I want to solve this is to get the absolute value by itself. In order to get the absolute value by itself, I first add the 2 over. Now, if I want to get the absolute value by itself, I still need to move over what? I need to get that 4 off the absolute value. How do we get that 4 off the absolute value? You have to divide because it's multiplied on. $20 divided by 4 is 5. Okay, I have now an absolute value by itself. According to what we did here, we make 2 equations. So I'm going to make 3 minus 2x is less than or equal to 5. And I'm going to make 3 minus 2x is greater than or equal to negative 5. 2 equations, one normal, one with the negative and the sign flipped. I am now going to solve each of these individually. Over here, I'm going to minus 3 and minus 3. Okay. Now, next step in solving this is I'm going to divide by what? Divide by negative 2. That becomes a negative 1, but my sign flips because I divided by negative. Divide over here by negative 2. That becomes a 4, but my sign flips. Okay, open or close circles. It's closed circles because it's or equal to. And let's graph it. Greater than or equal to negative 1. Greater than or equal to negative 1 means this way. Less than or equal to 4 means it's this way. Now, is that an and or an or? Is it in between or is it going opposite direction? It's in between. So this is an and. An and is written in this form. The lowest number and then the highest number. That's how you write your answer. Because here, x is less than 5. Sorry, x is less than or equal to 4. Here, x is greater than negative 1. X is greater than or equal to negative 1. All and statements are written like this, not like this. Okay, last thing. There's a helpful hint to know if it's an and or, and it's very important. Less thans or less than or equal to's. First of all, less thans are always and. Ands will look something like this. These are always less than. I didn't spell that right, but can you see the word and? Less than are always ands. And they're always shaded between. Greators will look like this. Greators will shade both sides. Greators will shade both sides. This is great or greator. Now, if the sign, look carefully, if the sign's a less than, it's an and. Less than are ands. Greators are or. See the greator in the beginning? See the greator? Is an or. Less thans, see the less than in the beginning for both these? Less than, were ands. Greators are ors. Ors go out, ands go in. Ors go out, ands go in. Less thans are always a less than, and they're always ands. Greators are always ors. Ors go out. Remember, if there's a line underneath, it's closed circle. If there's no line underneath, it's an open circle.